Welcome back to the Queen City Soccer Show. This is Level Up Luke, joined as always by Justin Kurtz. Justin, Cole is once again MIA, but you and I are going to hold it down tonight with our special guest. First off, though, Justin, how's everything going, man? Been a pretty fun week around here in the Queen City.
It has, and I haven't been able to participate in any of it. I have been so slammed with work, I had to miss both the skills competition and the All-Star game. So I'm very disappointed to have missed those. I'm very glad that the tickets I had still got used. And so I'm really excited to hear what you and our guest thought of it, Luke.
Yeah, so I have Juan here, and this is my buddy from the American Outlaws, Tampa Bay, and he was able to make it up to Charlotte for the USMNT Senegal warm-up game for the World Cup, and we were talking then about the All-Star game coming to Charlotte, and he was like, "You know what? I might have to come back up and check that out." And surely enough, we are joined by Juan Gui, the Strugglist. He's an economic anthropologist focused on building communities, integrating affordable housing, sustainable economics, and sport. Sustainable economies in sport? You're going to have to explain that one to me.
Yeah.
Especially soccer. Founder of the Strugglist.com. It's Strugglist.com. I am massacring this.
Strugglism, yeah.
I am struggling. He's coached soccer for more than 20 years, refereed for the last few, and you can find him on Instagram at 3v1, which, if anybody knows this podcast, we love a good pun here. So at 3v1 is fantastic. What's up, man? Correct my mistakes there. Tell us all about your background and your experience here with Charlotte.
Oh, no, thanks, Luke and Justin, for having me on. And I just, you guys are awesome, and listening to your show has been fun. At least I do the strugglism, and I just started up that this year, and I've been in the soccer community throughout, originally from Atlanta, also down in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Tampa, and I'm big into the American Outlaws, and Charlotte, it's definitely impressed me, with just how much it loves soccer, and I just I can't get enough of Charlotte. So any chance I can get, I'll make it up here and or there, back down in Tampa right now. But it was fun.
Awesome, man. Well, we met up for the skills competition on Tuesday night, hosted at Truist Field, home of the Charlotte Knights, our minor league baseball team here. We love them. We love the stadium. It has a great skyline view. I tell anybody who's coming to town, if it's baseball season, like, you got to check out a game. It's so much fun. And it really surprised me because I didn't check the weather at all ahead of time. Apparently, I was surprised to learn that it was going to rain a little bit, and it started to drizzle. And I was like, all right, I'm not made of sugar. I'm not going to melt here. Little did I know there was a whole ass storm rolling in, and that became a big part of the conversation for Tuesday night. But Juan, I met up with you at like the courtyard area, the little alleyway there. That became like the tailgate location.
Yeah.
Tell me about your trip up here. You're going into the skills competition Tuesday. What'd you think about the whole experience?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, that courtyard, first of all, it was like a nice little New Orleans kind of feel to it. So, I love that area. And at least I saw that radar, and I was like, let me bring my jacket. I should have told you a little bit about it, but it was a lot of fun to head over there to Truist, and it's a really beautiful baseball park. It was nestled in the city, and it does have great skylines, and I'd love to see a baseball game there. It's myself, but seeing the skills competition over there was amazing, and being really close to the players was awesome, and just kind of feeling the atmosphere. I mean, there was rain. It scared some people away, but it was still a lot of fun, and it was nice to kind of have it extended, not just like I guess it was supposed to be from 7:30 to 9:30, but we were there a little bit later, so that was fun.
Yeah, Yeah, I definitely got home around midnight after that rain delay and some festivities. But Justin, you were watching at home. How did it come across on the broadcast being at the baseball park?
I mean, it looked like everybody's having a really good time. It was really great to see all the kids down on the field. You know, they
Mhm.
definitely loved the fact that Reem had his kids down there on the baseball diamond with him and everything. I mean, I was impressed at how quickly they cycled through the various events and kind of had everything going on. Opened with the shooting challenge. Mueller put on a clinic, only missed one target, looked great at
Yeah,
doing it.
Yeah.
And then really excited to see Grandpa Tim in the passing challenge. And for all you people who question why Tim Ream is still getting minutes for Charlotte FC and everything like that, we know his limitations. He also showed off his strength. The passing competition for Tim Ream, that was really
Mhm.
impressive. I
yeah,
think his best time he did 5 targets in 17 seconds, and I think he would have done it faster, but
Yeah.
they didn't drop the cover on the last target for a couple of seconds when he got there.
yeah. The his first time up in that challenge, I feel like he was just kind of gauging it. And you watch a professional shooter, they got to dial in the range, they got to check the wind. That's what
Mm.
Tim Ream was doing, lay of the land. And after that round, he just got better and better. It was incredible to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was definitely impressive, and Mueller showing off his skills for that first round, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was really really cool to see Reem, and also I guess he who at least they were ball boying for each other. It was it
Son,
Son?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was
Yeah,
Son.
Son and Reem.
yeah, that was really cool. That
Timmy and
was
Sonny,
fun.
man, they look like kids out there. Like they were just having a blast. Like they're laughing and just like cracking jokes at each other. And yeah, Son was like his caddy out there. He was just like teeing up the balls and giving
Yeah.
Tim some shooting advice. Like which way is the pitch rolling right now. It was really fun to watch.
No, it was really cool,
Yeah,
and just mhm.
Sonny and Muller both they're obviously so media trained after their time in Europe playing this.
Mhm.
But they were saying all the right things about what coming to MLS means to them and how, it's definitely not their retirement league, but God, it looks like their retirement league. But they were definitely
Yeah,
saying the right things, at least in all of the interviews, and it really looked like they were enjoying themselves. I will say, after the passing competition is the first sort of shelter in place. In the interview afterwards, they actually had to cut it short trying to interview Reem because they got
Mhm.
the shelter in place warning. And that from that point on, for those of us watching on broadcast, it got slow because they started
Yeah.
replaying last year's skills competition and replaying Evander winning the shooting competition last year and everything. And the whole time I was just thinking, man, I actually would have rather been in the stadium for this part, just because uh, the broadcast at that point kind of just put me to sleep.
yeah. I mean, that was a good beer break. That was, I
Yeah.
mean, it
Mhm.
it felt like a baseball park because we were just drinking and chilling and watching, a competition we don't particularly care about. Like it was just a real party vibe. Like it was great. No complaints.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta go around actually, I always saw somebody that I knew from down in Florida, so that was kinda crazy, but it was fun seeing all the people. It was like a long extended, uh, at least in between innings break, so it was kind of fun.
Yeah. Little intermission, if you will.
Yeah. That's right.
No, it was really cool though. Like the goalie wars, I was disappointed they only had two goalies competing. Houston Dynamo 2, we've talked about them on the podcast. They're one of the best teams in MLS Next Pro. Their keeper was out there. I think he won it. He did a
Mhm.
great job. Um, They had more than two. They had some of the pro keepers compete too, right? Freeze was
Yeah.
out there for a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would have liked to have seen a Crown Legacy keeper get a shot at it. Charlotte's reserve team, the Crown Legacy, they won the first two goalie wars at the MLS Skills Challenge, and they haven't invited us back since. They said, "You got enough belts, no more for you."
No.
So I was a little
That would have been
disappointed.
really cool.
I mean, Christian Colino would have won that hands down. Don't even get me started on
So
Christian
so
Colino.
why yeah, well, I'm gonna get you started. Why was he not there?
So MLS is a bureaucracy run by an authoritarian dictator, Don Garber, the soccer Don here, and they don't want us to have good things. That's my only takeaway.
Mm,
Christian Colino leading MLS in saves, former MLS goalkeeper of the year, has never gotten a shot at the All-Star game or the Skills Challenge. Um, if Charlotte FC wasn't hosting, I have no doubt, Tim Ream would have been the only representative, and that's just
yeah.
because of the U.S. national team and the relationship with the U.S. Soccer Federation. Um,
Mhm.
Don Garber wants to put all the national team competitors on the stage, but Pep
Yeah.
Biel getting in, Ashley Westwood in the All Star game, that was purely because we were hosting, and even then, we've speculated that they tied Dean Smith's hands with the coach selection picks. It sounded like a lot of
Mm.
that influence came from the league office. You had Columbus Crew host the event a few years ago, and they had like half their team on the All Star roster. Kind of
Yeah.
annoying.
Well, it wasn't a World Cup year, we didn't have to pay fealty to the soccer don, you know.
Yeah.
Uh
And the
yeah,
festivities for the evening, there was the passing challenge, the shooting challenge, the goalie
Mhm.
wars, and it ended with the relay race, the MLS All Stars versus the Liga MX All Stars relay race. That was kind of a weird one to me. I don't usually watch the skills
Yeah.
competition. What'd you guys think of that?
It didn't, it was missing something. It didn't seem like fun. It just, I mean, I don't know, something was missing about it, but, I don't know, they could have ended on something a little bit more interesting than that. It just kinda it lacks something.
I gotta tell you, I was asleep by that point. The weather delays and everything, um, and it's honestly kind of soporific to try and sit and watch a skills competition that you know the ending of already because it was last year's. So,
Mhm.
okay, fine. We're gonna bring up last year's skills competition. I'm gonna sit in front of the TV and probably fall asleep.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah,
exactly
fair
what
enough.
happened. So, I know the MLS and everybody can't control the weather, but it was not a good way to keep the broadcast moving and everything. I think it
You know
would have
what they
been
sh
far more interesting and entertaining to try and you know get more interviews in the stadium, wherever the
Mm.
players went or anything like that. Like go do some of that. Go find random people. They could have gone and interviewed you guys. Anything that kept it live and new and unique would have been better than replaying what we'd already seen.
I
Yeah.
wonder if, they could do, like, a shootout, like the old, MLS style shootout there, keeper
What was it,
versus an
35-yard
attacker.
PKs?
Yeah.
I love that. Man, I love that. I think we should bring it back, and the skills competition seems like a great place to do it. That's a
Yeah,
good
that would be
idea.
Absolutely.
fun.
That's a good, and it would be a lot more exciting than anything out there except maybe Goalie Wars. And
Yeah.
even with that Goalie Wars, like it was all right, but like I said, I would have rather seen a little bit of a bracket tournament style setup there.
Mhm.
Um, but it is what it is.
I
So we
mean,
had a
I liked
transition.
watching Tim win the passing competition, but that's just because
Mhm.
it's one of my guys winning the passing competition.
Yeah, have you guys
Those
seen this channel on Instagram? It's Triple Coverage Sports, I believe.
Oh, you
No.
told me
It's
about that.
it's like parody, satire, soccer content. They were doing the World Cup, and It's very funny, but one of their whole bits is like Tim Ream is the GOAT soccer athlete, and Messi came to MLS to be mentored by the GOAT Tim Ream. So yeah, Tim Ream winning the skills challenge is huge news on
That's
their channel.
enormous meme material for them. Yeah.
It's a more
Nice.
prestigious award than the Balloon d'Or. So yeah.
I gotta check out that
Uh,
that channel.
It's great. I want to get him on the podcast. I tried reaching out to him. But yeah, so the transition between the skills challenge and the all-star game
Mm,
was pretty incredible to me because like the skills challenge, the attendance wasn't huge. The people that were there were wearing all different kinds of kits. I didn't see as many
mhm.
Charlotte FC kits. It was a lot of like international. So Wednesday, I was like, you know what? Tossing on one of my Celtic kits. I'm gonna, put on the hoops, the green, and
Nice.
represent. And I got there, and it's all Charlotte FC kits in the tailgate. I was like, all right, well, this looks like a sellout crowd. The alleyway went from being empty on Tuesday to being just packed on Wednesday, and I haven't seen the buzz around Uptown that crazy since probably that last Miami game where we had the huge attendance or like the US national team. It seemed like a
Nice.
sellout crowd was in the works. And we got there and it was a lower bowl sellout. Um,
Mhm.
so going into this All-Star game, we know we have three Charlotte FC players. We've seen the rosters for the MLS All-Stars and the Liga MX All-Stars. What did you guys think about the lineups, the way they were rolling the subs in and out? How was the game from that point of view?
uh, I'm going to be honest. I was surprised that Mueller didn't get to start. Dean trots out a very traditional Dean 4-3-3. Um, but the kind of 4-3-3 maybe that Charlotte FC fans would like to see once in a blue moon, where there's really only one holding midfielder, and a lot of respect to Yannick Bright for being there and being the only guy on the field playing defense. Um, but it was again very exciting to watch. There was Matt Freeze was in World Cup form on the first goal of the game.
Yeah,
No.
truly,
Um,
truly.
just backpedaling into his own goal away. So Liga MX manages the first goal. As Freeze is just backpedaling for no reason. The header's close to him. He just sort of watches it and goes, "Oh, well, that happened." Um. But MLS All Stars answered. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah,
the Carlos Hill to Heung-min Son connection is real enough that maybe those guys should arrange, like, Don Garber's about to roll in and get New England to trade Hill over to LAFC.
Mhm. Oh my god.
yeah. We
Those
we talked about it at the skills competition with Carlos Heel. He's been. I was saying quite often he's the ops for Charlotte FC. Like every time we play him, he shows up. He's a shooter, very dangerous
Nice.
player. So Charlotte FC fans, we respect him. But I was hearing some feedback around like, oh wait, this guy's still around. He's still good, and he really showed up in the All Star game. I mean, he looks like a top flight MLS player. Um, he turned out the kind of performance that we're used to seeing when Charlotte plays him. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, kind of bittersweet.
Yeah, and as
We
far as
also had,
mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, a brace for Sun in the game.
Yeah.
He's that guy. I mean, come on, respect. Both those goals were phenomenal.
No, yeah, those early goals by MLS, they were it was fun to see, and I was hoping that we were gonna get a goal every 10 minutes, and we were kind of on that pace, but I wasn't surprised that Mueller was held back, but I was surprised that he was held back to the end of the game, and I kind of wonder if the coach had it to do again, if he would have put him in earlier. But you kind of want to spread out your stars a little bit for those All-Star games. But But it was a lot of fun. Lots of goals, and and the Liga MX players. Their technical form was fun to watch, and um, it was a lot of skill on display, and I really enjoyed the game. That's the first MLS All Star game that I've seen, so it was fun. Wish a few more goals, but it was definitely something I'd
Yeah.
like to do again.
So this was actually the highest attendance for an MLS All-Star game since the 2018 Atlanta United when they just opened Mercedes-Benz
Oh
Stadium.
yeah.
Atlanta United was a brand new club. I actually got down. That was the first MLS game I ever saw was that All-Star game.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, so that was over 70,000. Charlotte had a lower bowl sellout over 35,000, and it was a real sellout. I mean, it looked like at any given time, probably 95% lower bowl capacity with maybe
Mhm.
5% of the fans in the concourse at any given time. So it definitely looked the part. Juan, how was it in Bank of America Stadium for you? What was your experience like?
I mean, it was a lot of fun. I mean, at least it's at least you had a lot of Charlotte FC fans there, and so that was great to see the home team supporters out there, and then the supporters group was loud and singing, and so that was a lot of fun. Um, it was just it was a great experience. Uh, the halftime show was a lot of fun too with Ciara, so that was cool, and I've never seen her live, so that was pretty neat, and um, but a lot of very knowledgeable fans at the game, and just it was a great atmosphere. Uh, I definitely can't wait to come up and see a Charlotte FC game. Hopefully, you guys stay in the playoff hunt so I can come back and see the energy. So
Yeah.
I felt offended. Ciara wore black and red, which is just those are not those are not good colors in this town.
That's
Now
great.
I think that is also because there is I think Sierra like came up in the Atlanta area and everything, and
oh, that's
all of those
right.
sports teams have that same color scheme and everything. So I guess I can kind of let it go, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Uh, all that said, though, like it was, I think a good showing for the city. I think it was a good showing
Mhm.
for, um, we talked a little bit, Luke, about Pep BL and Ashley Westwood being there. They were pretty quiet, I thought, in their period on the pitch. They kind of got the no man's land time of from the first half hydration break to the second half hydration break, where there wasn't a
Yeah.
whole lot going on. Um,
Yeah, and that was fun, man. Return
Mhm.
to World Cup form. Got to have the hydration break. It's like, low 70s in there. Felt really nice.
It was
Felt
beautiful, yeah.
real good. Must be tough for those Liga MX guys to handle the, you know, l- low to mid 70s in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
But
a little bit of Southern hospitality there.
but the hydration break came into like the 34th minute. That was kind of like they forgot about it or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, hydration break. Let's get that commercial in. So that
it
was
was
kind of weird.
strangely late, yeah.
But
Well,
they had
I thought
it.
it was
of
I
course, the
thought it
even
was
funnier
cool.
part
Like,
is it's broadcast on Apple, so there's no they didn't go to ad.
yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, you're not even selling additional revenue for that. I thought it was cool. Before the game, they did a lot of like pyrotechnics. They had
Mhm.
a weird kind of Kanye West concert looking drum line.
Yeah,
Um,
that was cool.
there was a tifo, there was a flyover. The
Hmm.
stadium sang the national anthem. Like there was a lot of stuff. They definitely made it like a spectacle of an event. Pretty good visuals and the general kind of event appeal that we don't usually see for like the national team games. It seemed like they went the next step up for this one.
No, they definitely put a show on, and I love the tifo that the supporters group made. I mean, you also had the MLS uh, pre-manufactured tifo there as well, which was cool, but it was nice. It was really nice to see the Charlotte supporters have that tifo there. You got to have that. So that was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
There was a T-shirt giveaway going into the stadium, and then that
Yeah.
MLS, quote unquote tifo, just a big banner that said MLS will take it from here. And I've been critical of this because I feel like it's, I get that they're doing a marketing push for it, but aside
Mhm.
from that logo and that, slogan of we'll take it from here, I don't know what they're actually taking or what they're doing with it once they've taken it. I mean, it seems like their whole pitch is we're MLS, we've been growing for 20 years, and we're just gonna keep on doing what we've been doing, even more in the future.
Yeah,
There
no,
hasn't been like an initiative that I've seen. They haven't changed anything yet.
yeah. I mean, we'll see the calendar change next year, but I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it's like the same old. But hopefully next year, we see some interesting new things. But
Be careful what you wish for, Luke. You know what's coming is hydration breaks in every MLS match. You playing in the
Can't wait to
dome in
see that.
Atlanta? You playing in the
Yeah,
dome in Atlanta?
Vancouver,
Time for a break.
BC Place in Vancouver, man. Those
Especially
ice
once the
cold.
schedule switches and we're playing over the winter.
Yeah,
You ever
they're gonna
been
have to
in
be given. They're gonna have to.
Foxborough, New England in January? Man, you
Yeah,
got
they're
to
gonna have
get
a
that
hydration.
hydration break.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
hot chocolate hydration break up there. Gonna be handing out thermoses.
Mate.
A mate, hell
No,
yeah.
you gotta go. It's traditional for football. It's hot bovril. You get the hot bovril at the stadium. So no,
I consider myself a worldly man. I have not partaken of that.
it's
Bridge, question mark?
it's a Brit thing. It's beef bouillon. It's hot
Yeah,
beef stock.
it,
Really?
it's like soup without the fun parts.
Yes,
Yeah,
but they put in a like a terrine or a coffee dispenser in the stadium, and fans can just go up and have a little cup of hot bov.
Oh my
that
gosh.
sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, All-Star game ends with the MLS team taking the crown 4-3. I believe they're undefeated against Liga MX. Maybe Liga snuck one in there somewhere, but
No,
MLS has pretty much
the
dominated the rivalry.
first one 3 years ago that we played against Liga MX, they won.
Okay. But it's been mostly one-sided. MLS, I think, has won 3 or 4 of them now, and yeah, I mean, it was definitely a game that happened. I saw some of the
Mhm.
interviews with the players afterwards. Ashley Westwood was like, "I've had a long, storied career. I've been to many places. I've done many things. This was certainly something. this this was a thing that happened."
I mean, I'm sure that a lot of these guys are very happy to be here, if only for the bonus clauses in their contract that say you get extra money if you make the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, they got to meet Sir Minty, so really the honor is all theirs.
Highlight of their career, absolutely.
I mean, Charlotte, North Carolina. I said it on social media. Like the All Star game is great, but the real centerpiece of this whole event has been the city of Charlotte, and I think
Mhm.
we showed out very well. The thunderstorms notwithstanding, I think from everything I've been seeing from the players, the All Stars, they had a great time. I think this really put Charlotte on the map for a lot of players, and
Mhm.
that's the kind of like cachet that could move the needle in the transfer market, where players are like, "Oh yeah, I've been there. It was really cool. The stadium was packed, 35,000 in the lower bowl. That's more than any All Star game in 8 years. Like, it's a pretty
Mhm.
cool experience."
That was a lot of
Well,
fun. You guys.
and I know too that a lot of the players made themselves available to the fans and everything. So like, I saw a lot of people getting autographs on social media from guys like Sonny, from guys like Muller, and that's always great to see again, these guys are incredibly well trained. During the match they interviewed Sonny after he'd come off. And he talked about how, you know, oh, it was you can't really credit me for the brace. They were two basically tap ins because Carlos Hill did such a good job setting me up and everything, and that kind of uh, you know humbleness and everything really does endear you to American audiences. So he and Muller both interviewed very well, and I think probably endeared maybe some of the casuals who were just like, oh, All-Star game, I know what that is. You know, and then you go, oh, here are some big names in the sport, and look how much fun they're having at the MLS All Star Game. Maybe I'll go check it out an MLS match.
Yeah. I mean, we should shout out to Pep BL with the pass to Evander. They called it a connection between the Charlotte and Cincinnati players there. And afterwards, in Pep BL's interview, he was talking about how he's actually with Evander. I guess they have some kind of a history going back that he didn't really get into, but they mostly play against each other in their careers. But I mean, hey, if they're friends and Pep BL wants to put in a good word, maybe Evander switches Queen City allegiances and comes down to Charlotte.
Speaking of Pep BL, I want to take a minute. I know that you guys were there, and so obviously you didn't get to hear any of the broadcast, but I want to send a big go F yourself to Taylor Twellman, who in the pre-match said, he was asked who's going to have a good game, who's really going to show out, and he said, well, I think maybe Pep BL might finally have a chance to have some fun here at Bank of America Stadium. And hey, Taylor, go fuck yourself.
That's right. Taylor Twellman has not been kind to Charlotte in just about any media spot that I've seen.
Why?
He seems like a hater. He seems like a little bit of a hater.
Hmm.
I will say he did stick up for Bank of America Stadium on Twitter. There were a lot of troll posts showing an empty stadium an hour before kickoff, saying like, "Oh, there's no attendance. It's an empty stadium." It's like, yeah, man, the gates just opened. Like, what do you expect?
I was a little surprised at how
Crazy
late it
trolling.
felt like they kept the. It felt like they kept the fans out for a kind of a long time till till pretty close to kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, like all these other stadiums, I've visited several of them. Atlanta aside, like most of these other stadiums are outside of the metro. So like I'm assuming people get there early, check in a few hours before the game and just sit in their seats. Here in Charlotte, it's in the city, man. We're tailgating. We're still at the pub. Like I like to show up maybe 10 minutes before kickoff at best. We got other more fun things to do here. So take the L. Taylor Twellman posted a picture at kickoff, and the stadium's like full. The light show's going on. It looks incredible, and he's like, stop trolling. This is absolute nonsense. The place is packed. Like it looks great. So Taylor did stick up for us in that regard, but I think that's more protecting the MLS brand than anything.
Now,
So,
what did you guys
Juan,
think
I
of
wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. You got a chance to spend a little bit more time between the Senegal match and then this MLS All Star Week and everything. What did you do outside of the stadium in this city that you enjoyed?
Well, I went for a hike a little bit north of Charlotte, and that was really cool. It was Lata. It was
Latta Park? Oh,
yeah,
you were
Lata
right up
Park.
by. I'm just around the corner from Latta, so
Oh, okay.
it's a really pretty area of the town. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful over there. Uh, I mean, I got in right before the skills challenge on Tuesday, but that French Quarter looking area was really fun, and I did get to see some more traffic this time than the last time. So I was like, oh no, they do have some some traffic that, I mean, I don't think it's as bad as Atlanta because I grew up there, but it's maybe a little bit worse than Tampa. So I mean, but it
I
was
mean,
it was a lot of
yeah,
fun. Hmm.
these games were going on like right at rush hour, so it was the peak of the daily traffic.
Hmm.
Um, I went uptown Wednesday for the second event, and I got off 277 and was just parked for about 15 minutes because they had the hotels right there by the exit,
Yeah.
and there were vans and like limos and private transportation double parked on both sides of the street, completely blocking off traffic. Uh, I'm assuming to take the MLS guys and the All Star players from the hotel 2 blocks over to the stadium and just completely shutting down the roads. So yeah, not ideal. I saw that, was sitting there in traffic, and I was like, you know what? Roger Goodell has a point. We need more hotels. Spread it out, okay?
Mm.
But yeah,
But
it was busier than I expected. Wednesday night, maybe not the best time for an All Star game in a working city.
Yeah, it's a weird scheduling glitch and everything, and uh, we'll speak about this more later, I'm sure. But Don Garber was also on the pregame show, and he was talking about how, oh, this is the preview too for Leagues Cup, which is, some people call it a manufactured competition. It's not manufactured. This is legitimate rivalry. Uh-huh.
Between who?
Show me the people who are going, God, I really want to play in the middle of our season during a playoff push. I want to play Liga MX squads. That's what I
yeah,
was really excited for. Yeah.
yeah,
I
So,
mean, like,
man.
I'm not the target demo for this. I had never really heard of Liga MX before I started following Charlotte FC and
Mm.
like MLS, and we play each other in the uh, CONCACAF Leagues Cup, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's or CONCACAF Champions League or whatever they call it
That's
now.
right. Yeah. Hmm.
Um, yeah, like I'm fine with seeing Liga MX in an event like that. The Leagues Cup is literally manufactured
Yeah.
to draw
yeah.
in the Hispanic fan base into the stadiums in the middle of the season and cross promote the two leagues and sell broadcast and advertising. That's what it is manufactured for. That's what it does.
Absolutely.
I
Hmm.
don't know any casual MLS fans like it or enjoy it.
No.
Outside of Liga MX team. I mean, they get to see their teams closer to home. Cool. It's not for anybody else.
I mean, how do you guys like the format of the All-Star game? I mean, I know before we used to bring in European teams or other club teams, but how do you guys like the Liga MX versus MLS All-Stars?
I firmly believe that MLS is a big enough league now that if you want to have an all-star game, have an East-West all-star game. We have
Yeah.
enough talent in this league. We have enough players who deserve it that we should just have MLS players against MLS players in an all-star game. Like this oh, we need to somehow include Liga MX is asinine. It only serves, like Luke said, to try and sell some you know to Latino fans living in the United States, to Liga MX fans living in the US, to be like, look, you can see the players that you like a little closer to home. The All-Star game, Leagues Cup, all of that is just cash grab, it feels like.
Yeah.
And first of all, I think there are a lot of MLS players who are deserving of representation in the All-Star game, who play at an All-Star level, who don't
Hmm.
get to play because there's only one MLS All-Star side.
Yeah.
Um, which I think is unfair to a lot of guys who, again, I referenced earlier, there are contract and financial implications for some of these players, I'm sure, around bonuses for being in the All-Star game. So, you know, I think it is unfair to them to say, oh, well, there's only 25 roster spots where there should be 50.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, so pretty much copy and paste what you said. Um,
Hmm.
there's 30 teams in the league. It's too many teams for a top flight
Hmm.
soccer league. So I
Yep.
think MLS needs a division. I think you should add maybe 6 more teams to MLS and then split it in half and have MLS A and B and have limited pro rel between the two.
That's
But
right. I mean, that's the only way it's going to happen.
yeah, I mean, but like barring that, I would say there's 30 teams in the league and you have maybe 10 teams represented in the All-Star picks. So you're leaving out 2/3 of your league from having any representation in the game. And I can tell you,
Yeah.
like, Charlotte has not had a player in the All-Star game until this year. I didn't watch the All-Star game until this year on like
Mhm.
broadcast even because I just don't care if my team's not represented. If we had one
Yeah.
player on the roster, I would have watched it. But
Mhm.
when you're leaving out 2/3 of the league and 2/3 of the fan bases, that's bad business.
Yeah, that's too
So if you're
much.
gonna
Way
do
too
it,
much.
do East versus West, or the other idea, which I don't know how well this would go, domestic
Mhm.
versus international players,
Yeah,
because
that'd be
there's
fun
a
too.
sizable base of both. Like that could be good. I think international would dominate, but at least
Yeah.
it's some kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would be down for is MLS versus Next Pro potentially.
Hmm.
Especially if you sort of bill it as the stars of today versus the stars of tomorrow sort of thing. But
Mhm.
that doesn't help with, making sure that MLS teams are getting the appropriate representation in the All-Star game and having their best players actually recognized.
That's true. I mean, if we did go to MLSA and MLSB, maybe you could have split the country into two, and because there should only be one division at that point instead of the East West tables, but and then you would have maybe make it worth some points or something like that for the winning team on the East West. I don't know. Would that be kind of crazy?
Uh,
Where
yeah, so a modification of that, maybe the winning side gets home field advantage in the championship or a certain level of the playoffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, that's I there's some did something like that. So not an original idea, but there would be
yeah.
some kind of stakes involved. Um, yeah. So Juan, you're a Tampa Bay Rowdies fan, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I got season tickets for the Rowdies, and it's awesome going to the games and the Ralph's Mob, and the casuals they make. We have a fun time at the games, and we were in first place in USL, so we're having a great season. Coach Dominic is an awesome coach, and I'm glad we got him, and we've got a great setup. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Nice. And I was telling you, like, we've had some crossover between Charlotte FC, Charlotte
That's
Independence with
right.
the Tampa Bay Rowdies, sending some
Hmm.
players over. You had Ben Bender, Austin Pack, Luis Alvarez. Like, we've had a few players
Nice.
go to the Rowdies. I don't think any of those moves have really worked out, but
Yeah.
cool little connections. What do you think
Yeah.
about a USL Championship All-Star game? Should the uh, United Soccer League be taking some cues from the Major League Soccer?
I mean, it would be fun, but I don't know if it's quite ready for that. I mean, I think the focus should be, we're gonna have Pro Rail coming up soon, and at least, and it's just, I mean, I'm pretty sure those guys would take some extra money because they're not paid as much as MLS players. But, it'd be kind of fun, but maybe it's we're not quite ready for that yet. Maybe in 5 years or so, at least after Pro Rail kind of makes some noise, and I
And
mean,
you guys, yeah, and USL gets the USL Premier League started. Their new
mhm,
top flight.
that's
Um,
correct.
Well,
Yeah.
there's gonna be kind of USL VAR. I posted to our Discord about this earlier, but
Hmm.
in the next round of the Prinks Tires Cup, they're going to be introducing a lightweight video review system that is
Hmm.
designed to allow for review in stadiums that don't normally have review functions.
Okay.
Um looks like it's going to set up some like at least temporary goal line cameras and some cameras elsewhere on the field just to kind of like monitor for red card situations, things like that. So interesting to see that this is happening. It's going to start off at at the Prinks Tire Cup level. There's quarterfinals and the 7 remaining matches in the cup competition, including Charlotte Independence's match on August 12th against Hartford Athletic at the Sportsplex over in Matthews. I'm interested to see this not just for like its impact to USL, but also for its impact in Next Pro, for its impact, in NWSL and stuff like that. But like, I am a big proponent of well-used video review. And so I like that there is an attempt at least to identify other ways to do some of that video review and try to make sure that we're getting these officiating decisions right.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean,
this is a FIFA pilot program, so it's an official FIFA initiative. We talk about these pilot program out in specific leagues, usually at a lower level, before they push them out internationally. So the Canadian Premier League is currently trialing the Arsene Wenger offside model.
nice.
That's it. That's an official FIFA trial. And if they work out at the lower levels, they start pushing them out higher and higher. I believe MLS was one of the early VAR trial leagues, and this is an alternative to VAR. It's like you said, Justin, more of a lightweight video review that could be more flexible for lower level leagues without investing the millions upon millions that it would take to install VAR at every stadium. So could be very interesting.
Yeah, no, it'd be great to see how that works out, and I love the Arsene Wenger offside rule. That's I'd love to see that. I mean, we'd open
Yeah.
up games a little bit more. So
Yeah, I think the estimates were that it would increase scoring by somewhere around 20%. So
I'll take
I think
that.
it may be
That'll
more
be
than
fun.
that when teams start strategizing for it.
Yeah, I think that was mostly from there's about 15 to 20% of goals that are called back by review. So eliminating that on the close ones just automatically increases goals scored. And then, like you said, once they adapt to it, even better. All right, guys. Well, we got some more stuff to cover here. And Juan, I want to thank you so much for your time. If you want to hang around with us, feel free. We're going to keep going for a little bit longer here, but we don't want to keep you. If you have other stuff to do, can you tell the folks where they can find you? And feel free, if you got anything else to plug, we'd love to hear about it.
Awesome. Well, on Instagram, you can find me at 3V Juan. That's the number 3, the letter V, and Juan, Juan. I'm the founder of Strugglism.com. I've got an Instagram channel, YouTube. I've tried to hit up all the social media channels. Probably not the best idea, but focusing on like how you can build your community. Providing tools. I'm an anthropologist, and so I focused on affordable housing in my studies. I only did my master's. I did too much schooling before then, but those are the main ways to find me, and it's they're trying to get a little bit more into the let my soccer my soccer opinions out there as well, not just on community, but at least soccer's fun. So we gotta make sure we build up soccer here in the U.S. and do it in a better way than than it's been. I mean, it's not bad. It's better than it was 20 years ago, 40 years ago. But parents pay way too much money, and I mean, I was on both sides as a parent and coach, and so so we got to do better, and we'll do better. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, it was great to see you up here in Charlotte, brother. Got to do it again sometime. Got to do it again
definitely.
sometime soon. And, U.S. national team, the American Outlaws, highly recommend it. It's a great group, chapters all over the
Yeah.
country,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a great way to meet up with fans and make new friends that you can go and see soccer games with in the future. So just huge shout out. Thanks for coming up here, man. We loved having you.
Yeah, no,
And
thanks for having me. And if you ever make it down to Tampa, come down to Riveters. That's our chapter bar, at least here in Tampa. So it's a fun place. So
yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Tampa's a fun city. I enjoy it. Got to get
mhm.
back down there sometime. Well, with that, we'll move on, Justin. I don't know if you heard about this. There's this crazy global cabal engaging in massive, like just international level conspiracy. Some people say they're shape-shifting lizards, other call them the Illuminati. We know the head of this organization as Gio Infantino, and seeking to control global capital through sport. It's crazy. Have you heard about this?
I'm aware of FIFA. Yes, they've been around a little bit. They have been corrupt for as long as I can remember. You know, one of the most shocking things about all of the corruption around this year's World Cup and around the overturning of Flo Balogun's red card and everything like that was Sepp Blatter, the former head of FIFA, who at one point in my life I thought was the most corrupt person around the sport that I could possibly have imagined. Sepp Blatter was saying this is too corrupt. The degree of corruption within FIFA is mind-boggling. Corruption is the only way you get a country like Qatar hosting a World Cup. So am I surprised to hear the news? No. The news, for those who may not be aware, is that Gianni Infantino has discussed private investment in FIFA that would allow, or they would sell equity into the World Cup to investors, which is insane. It takes the meritocracy of the World Cup and turns it into pay to win.
So, I mean, you say private investors. It is private equity, but spearheaded by Jared Kushner and involving, just private equity from around the shadows of corruption everywhere in the world. It's disgusting just on its face. What's even more disgusting is that he tried it in with no discussion within FIFA, just a federal mandate, very short, almost like I think it's a 14-day window where every country agrees or they lose all funding from FIFA moving forward.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
we saw some plays in the World Cup, but I don't think I've ever seen an own like this. The reactions came in fast and furious, Justin, like fast. UEFA
Yeah.
has already put out a unanimous statement of every member participant within UEFA rejecting this proposal and threatening to boycott all future FIFA events until this is not only rescinded, but put into binding FIFA legislation that it cannot happen in the future.
That's right.
CONCACAF
So,
dogpiled on. A unanimous vote from CONCACAF, including the U.S. Soccer Federation, agreeing with UEFA and rejecting this proposal. So you got two of the biggest confederations in the world out within 24 hours of this unilateral move by Gio Infantino. I mean, they're close because this rule would require a majority support of the 212 member nations of FIFA, and they're at 96 against right off the bat.
Yeah.
yeah.
And there are what CAF, the Confederation of African Football, has said that they are considering this. I think that it's probably they're on board with this idea. The CONMEBOL is I haven't seen a response from CONMEBOL. That's the South American Confederation. But if those two are behind this, it'll come down to probably Asia or splinter countries within groups like CIF and CONMEBOL, countries, who choose to break with their confederation and say no, we still won't participate. Um, if they do, the issue that they're going to run into is if UEFA is out and CONCACAF is out, their World Cup is not going to be interesting. It's going to be South American teams playing each other, and that's about it.
I'm hearing a lot of Copa America hate coming from your side of the table. I don't think I appreciate it.
It's going to be a lot of America. It's going to be the CONCACAF teams playing Western European sides and losing. And then it's going to be, maybe Algeria could make some noise, but maybe Morocco.
Well, Morocco is making noise for all the wrong reasons right now. I don't think we want to go down that path.
But a World Cup, first of all, a World Cup that's missing out on the Americas and all of Europe can't really call itself a World Cup.
No.
And second of all,
I think swing is going to be Asia, just because of the number of members the Asian Confederation. I would say Oceania, but they need the money. Part of this is that Gio's saying they're going to give, I think, $4 million to every participating nation.
I thought it was 80 million.
Payment. 80 million? Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, you can't say no to 80 million, to give away all your future rights to World Cups, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good deal.
Western Europe and the Americas will go make our own World Cup with blackjack and hookers.
That is a reference that I understood.
So
this is one of the craziest, because like you said earlier, FIFA, the level of corruption is staggering. There's a great podcast out there called World Corrupt that they put out ahead of the Qatar World Cup, and Men in Blazers and Crooked Media joint venture there. Really good to give you the background on like the history of FIFA corruption, what goes into sports washing, which is a key component of this whole conversation. Just so brazen at such a time right now geopolitically, where this is not a tenable position. This proposal most likely being dead on arrival, and Gio Infantino going from having the ultimate job security a week ago, coming off the most successful World Cup of all time, arguably, to this week potentially facing a vote of no confidence from his own organization. Just shooting yourself in the foot, man. Turning around and booting the ball into your own net. Like I just have never seen something like this.
It would create if somehow that Asia and Africa come out in support of Infantino, it could create this schism and create two rival organizations, which in its face actually wouldn't be too bad to have some competition to FIFA but it just demonstrates the the problems with the corruption and in so many confederations, but it's going to be an interesting confrontation here.
I don't think he'll manage to pull it off. I don't think Infantino has the support. Like, honestly, UEFA being against it, other countries aren't going to pay for TV rights or a World Cup event that doesn't have Spain, that doesn't have France, that doesn't have Germany, that doesn't have England. Like the Premier League's the most watched league in the world, and you're talking about so many of the Premier League players who aren't going to be there if they go through with this plan, and UEFA will. And can of any confederation. UEFA can go tell them to kick rocks because UEFA will go off and make their they'll just start doing the Euros. They've floated a plan to do the Euros every 2 years instead, and frankly, they will make money off of just that plan. Like it'll replace for all of Western Europe and everything anything they might have lost from not being in the World Cup.
There's only
Yeah.
one thing that FIFA could try to hold over them, and that's the transfer market approval but I mean if it's they UEFA just wouldn't care, especially if CONCACAF is on board, or no, not especially, but they could do it on their own, but it's just it would be a mess, but something needs to happen. There's, I mean, FIFA holds too much of a monopolistic power, so.
Well, if they try to prohibit or block player transfers, they're going to get hit in court about impeding the free flow of business between countries. Like they'll get
Yeah.
hammered that way if they try to say we won't register your players, we won't allow your players to compete if they're playing in leagues that are not in, FIFA aligned confederations.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea. Everything about it is terrible, and everyone will suffer if this happens. But
Yeah.
Gianni Infantino will end up the word because he's gonna just get absolutely hammered by it.
Yeah, it's a
So I
mess.
do have some breaking news. Let's go ahead, cue the music. Breaking news! The Asian Football Confederation has put out an official statement. They are not going as far as CONCACAF and UEFA, but they are calling the move disappointing and unacceptable and a threat to continental soccer
Mm.
in their statement. So they're not outright rejecting the proposal. This is the
Mhm.
FIFA Forward Enterprises FFE venture, but they are coming out decidedly against it. So that's an interesting development here.
Yeah, well, that's good. So, maybe Infantino can be out of a job soon, so get his resume ready.
Yeah, for real. All right, guys. Well, we will keep you updated on the situation as it continues to develop. If there is one thing that middle-aged men love to do, it is to monitor a situation. So you are tuned in to the correct podcast. We are Charlotte's premier monitoring the situation podcast. Uh, let's move on, Justin, because I could get angry about this, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's like that meme. It's like my expectations were low, but holy shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, we're
yeah,
we're also monitoring the situation for Charlotte FC as we finalize some
Segue.
of our MLS business
well
before
done.
Leagues Cup starts. We're headed
Okay,
to the Windy City. We're headed up to Chicago for the weekend.
Nice.
We're going to go visit Robert Lewandowski and the Chicago Fire and get a chance to see Greg Berhalter as a club manager after all of those wonderful years that U.S. men's national team fans will remember of Greg Berhalter as a national team coach.
Oh,
Justin,
on that.
how would you rank the Mount Rushmore of U.S. national team heroes? Would you put Greg Berhalter, Triple G, above or below Matt Freeze on your ranking here?
Um, when you have Mount Rushmore, you got the faces on the one side, and then on the other side, but slightly lower, right around the ass of the mountain. That's where Greg Berhalter's face, Matt Freeze's face, those appear down there.
Oh my.
Well done.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice. On that note, guys, I do have to go, but it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Great having you on. Thanks for coming out.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, Juan.
No problem. See you in Charlotte.
Yes, sir. All right. So yeah, Chicago Fire, they have been underperforming as of late. Their recent form is none too impressive with a few draws and losses mixed in there. But this is a team that, based on talent and roster composition, should be probably top three in the East. They've actually spent money. They've brought in better players. They have Robert Lewandowski. We talked about, you know, MLS making moves in the transfer window, and that's certainly a highlight. Um, this is a Chicago Fire team that can be and should be dangerous, especially when we're playing on the road. Charlotte FC has struggled on the road. MLS is a tough league. I mean, you got to win your home games and grab a few points where you can traveling. So I think we should be able to come away with a point in this one, and that would be a success in my book. But with their recent form and us getting back to our winning ways, Justin, I feel like we have to ask the question: can we beat the Chicago Fire?
I don't know. And I don't know in large part because a big part of our recent success is now no longer with the team officially. Well, not officially. Officially, Dean hasn't said it officially, but he's
Unofficially,
flown to
official.
Brazil.
Yeah,
He's flown to
yeah,
Brazil, and Kerwin Vargas is gone.
he's literally on the
Um,
ground in another continent, and the club has
yep.
not put out a statement, which is pretty wild.
And Alan Maximin still not cleared to play. Probably going to start in Leagues Cup, which let me tell you how much I love the idea, Luke, of our brand new, freshly unwrapped designated player starting in meaningless matches against Liga MX squads. I feel great about. I cannot stand that. I can't stand that we have to do Leagues Cup at all. B, I cannot understand why it takes Charlotte FC so long to get visa issues figured out. This is now 2 weeks back, and we're not going to have our new designated player on the pitch. So we're probably starting Liel Abada and Rodolfo Loco, or wait for it, Tiger Smalls.
Who?
Are you ready, Luke, for the Tiger Smalls start? Are you prepared
Are you
mentally
ready?
for that?
Are you ready for my conspiracy theory? You want to hop on the crazy train? Let's get our tinfoil hat ready. Hear me out. Hear me out, Justin. Young stud Nathan Richmond from Crown Legacy was caught training with the Charlotte FC first team this week. Hear me out, Nathan Richmond starting for Charlotte FC on the road at Chicago Fire.
I mean, I'd love if it did happen. I don't think that it will. I don't
I
think it will.
let me remind you. Let's go hop in the Wayback Machine with me. A young up and coming winger goes on the road in Chicago in his Charlotte FC debut. That man's name, Brandon Cambridge, scores a brace.
I loved Cambridge. I miss Cambridge. I think last time I checked, he was with Phoenix Rising,
Yeah.
which is also where Adunze is right now, the Crown Legacy Charlotte FC goalkeeper. Miss him. Always thought he deserved more opportunities.
Yeah, well, Nathan Richmond could be the next Brandon Cambridge. And you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying it. I got Nathan Richmond starting at Chicago Fire, and I know Dean Smith listens to this podcast and takes my roster into consideration. We've established it is proven. We've done peer-reviewed testing, and it's come back positive that Dean Smith is an absolute ledge. Listens to the podcast. So I'm just letting him know, man. Nathan Richmond, he's a stud, part of the Galacticos, and I think he can bring some of that form to the first team because you know who can't / won't. That's our boy Tiger Smalls. No offense. I have seen evidence that Tiger Smalls can meet the moment. I would rather take a flyer on a young guy, untested, unproven. That's my pick, Justin. Tinfoil hat, crazy pills. I'm taking them.
I'd rather see him than Tiger. I don't disagree with you. I'm very concerned that with a roster that is temporarily depleted in a city known for weather that affects long balls, that Dean is going to come out the whole time 10 men behind the ball playing for a draw on the road. I don't want it, but this feels like a Dean tries to park the bus and we lose 1-0 kind of match.
Yeah, I agree. I'd be happy with a draw. Like I said, we come away with a point on the road. That's a success in my book. Let's just keep the numbers going up. Numbers go burr. I'm happy. I'll take it. So we will see. And obviously, we haven't done a full scouting report on Chicago. I just know they should be better than they are. I don't want to be the get right game for them. So let's continue to let Triple G stew in a melange of misery up there in the Windy City, and I'm totally okay with that. Um, I did want to mention too. This is off topic. Should we do score predictions first? Do you want to throw out some numbers?
Everything about it, unfortunately, feels like a 1-0 Charlotte loss to me.
Yeah, slightly more optimistic. 1-1 draw. I wouldn't be surprised at 0-0, but I think we get a goal from Pep Biel or even Liel Abada getting right. Toklamati and Archie need to find their form. They need to score sometime, like
No
mathematically,
kidding.
statistically, our strikers should be scoring in a game. But yeah, I got like 1-1. But yeah, let's just move on a little bit. We did have in Charlotte, because of the All-Star festivities, a lot of executives from Major League Soccer from all of the teams flying in, and they had a meeting to discuss the future of the league. We've already mentioned the proposal to switch to the global calendar has been approved. That will be going into effect, I believe, next year. But they are also looking at the roster rules and the salary, uh, quote unquote, cap rules. MLS doesn't have a firm salary cap, but it has kind of a range. Teams are currently spending between 10 and like 55 million on their rosters. And from what I'm hearing, I don't think there's been an official announcement yet, but from what I'm hearing, they want to expand the roster flexibility for young players like under the age of 22. They're going to keep the designated player initiative, probably rework TAM, especially, and possibly GAM, but they're going to keep one or both of those components in place. And this is wonky, getting in the weeds for the nerds, but it sounds like a tweak rather than an overhaul to me on the roster rules. I would like to see a few more roster spots to give a little bit more flexibility on depth, and I would like teams to be able to sign, dare I say, an unlimited number of players under 22 exempt from the roster restrictions of salary. So we'll see. We'll see what they come back with, but they are doing something. There's something cooking in the Soccer Don's office to allow teams to spend a little bit more money. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's probably an expansion to the overall sort of like softish cap that they've got right now. The designated players don't really have to fit under, but everybody else kind of does. That needs to get bigger. The number, you're right, Luke, the number of roster spots needs to get bigger, especially with more competitions like Leagues Cup. When you've got Leagues Cup and Open Cup and all of this, you've got to make sure that you have enough roster spots that you can survive the injuries that will inevitably happen over the course of a season. So all of those things really need to be taken into account, need to be taken into consideration, and they haven't really been so far. Dean's talked before about how he doesn't feel like he has enough space and flexibility with the roster. He's talked about in England, if you go, well, we need a guy, just call him up from the reserves or the U23s or something like that. Can't really do that in MLS. You burn through how much these young players can be called up from Next Pro if you do it. So I think there will be more money. I think there will be a few more roster spaces. I love the idea about young player flexibility, especially given the fact that Charlotte FC, all of the roster issues that we may have had and everything like that. But the flip side of it is we have become a successful selling team over the past couple of years. moving Ajamong, moving Malanda, and now moving Vargas, these are all moves that have made the club money. Now, maybe another change I'd like to see. I'd like to see more of that money immediately reflected in what the club can do. Maybe a little bit more like England's financial fair play rules, where, as it stands right now, selling these players for millions of dollars in transfer fees does not actually. It helps David Tepper's bottom line. It doesn't help the roster construction of Charlotte FC because so little of the money that you make from those player sales goes to GAM. More of that needs to be available to because it will encourage teams to develop and sell players, but more of it needs to be available to go buy players afterwards. We should have a war chest off of player sales in the neighborhood of, 25 to $30 million for these three players. And we don't. We don't have that sitting around to be able to go out and say, let's pay a big transfer fee and get a really, really good player in with that money.
Yeah. I've been harping on this for a long time. I don't think the executives in MLS listen to this podcast, but on the off chance, I am once again asking you to donate to training compensation and solidarity payments. That's when we have an outbound transfer out of MLS to another league. A portion of that payment should go to the domestic training club responsible for their development. That will help grow the game in the United States.
Yes.
I would like to see our training programs become self-sufficient, and that is a great way to move away or at least limit the pay-for-play model that everybody seems to agree is a poison and a drag in soccer development in the United States. We're the only country in the world that has a FIFA exemption from solidarity as part of our business structure.
Yep.
Let's address. All right. Well, everything else you said, I agree with. I believe. I think teams should have more flexibility, especially between teams. I hope they do not close the reserve loophole, the MLS Next Pro loophole that Charlotte FC has been blatantly exploiting. Please keep that in place as a selfish desire, but that's where you can buy a player for unlimited funds and stash them in your reserve team until they're ready for first team minutes. It's benefited us tremendously, and I like that approach. But yeah, so just kind of moving on a little bit, we got some more soccer news. Mauricio Pochettino, U.S. national team head coach, appears to be close to re-signing with the national team. We talked about this in the group chat a little bit, Justin. It sounded like he was up for some big jobs in Europe during the World Cup. U.S. stayed in the tournament long enough. Not enough of those jobs opened up. / they filled the positions before Pochettino was available. U.S. Soccer Federation sent him a contract offer. They faxed it over to his office during the World Cup, and we are finally starting to hear back that Pochettino's interested. He said, all right, well, I'm open to it. Let's talk numbers. And the two sides are getting closer to an agreement. Few questions here for you, Justin. Do you think re-signing Pochettino is the right decision? And if this goes through, do you think he stays with the national program through this upcoming World Cup cycle?
Well, the answer to one is no, because I think the answer to two is no. Cole and I both agreed as the World Cup was coming to a close that I think it's very dangerous to keep Pochettino, not because I don't think he's a good manager, not because I don't think he's necessarily good for the U.S. men's national team, everything like that. Selfishly, I think he's great for Pat Ajamong. I think, after Ajamong's injury, I was very concerned about his place trying to get back into the U.S. men's national team, because I think a lot of fans didn't rate him, but Pochettino does. And frankly, that's all you need as a player, as your manager, to buy in for you being the guy. All that said, my concern is a year from now, when it doesn't work out for Xabi Alonso, or when it doesn't work out for Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid, or when it doesn't work out for Andre Iraola at Liverpool, are these big clubs gonna come knocking on Pochettino's door? And is he going to be willing to say no if they do? Because I don't think he can. And what I don't want more than anything else is a manager leaving halfway through a cycle and essentially the U.S. men's national team having to reset 2 years into a 4-year World Cup cycle. And I don't think Pochettino will stay. So I would rather say thank you. It was wonderful, but have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just reading some updates here. Sorry. I mean, we're all over the place with this episode because the news is literally breaking as we're recording the podcast. So bear with my ADHD here, folks. The Mexican Soccer Federation, it's breaking news here. They are, even though they co-signed the CONCACAF statement against FIFA Forward Enterprises, apparently the Mexican Federation has not closed the door on cooperating with FIFA. I would be shocked if U.S. Soccer is not also in discussions. I was shocked they co-signed the CONCACAF letter. So we may have some developments here in the hours and days that follow about clubs backing out of their confederation statements.
Well, the U.S. soccer official, like they reshared the social media post for CONCACAF and explicitly stated that we stand with CONCACAF and fully agree with this statement. Which I agree is surprising.
Well,
but
I read that differently. I did not read that we wholeheartedly stand with them. I saw it more as like an acknowledgement than a cosign. It actually seemed like a weak statement from U.S. Soccer, but it was still more than I expected from them. So I mean,
I don't know. It starts getting even weirder if we start getting these splits within confederations and everything. But
yeah.
But what do you?
I do want to shout out Hurt Gomez from ESPN, ESPN Deportes. Had a great statement kind of summarizing this. Private equity would mean more commercial inventory, higher ticket prices, more advertising, longer tournaments, more competitions. The game becomes increasingly driven by shareholder returns rather than what's best for the sport. I think that sums it up perfectly. This is why everybody hates this, is because there is one side that benefits, and it is the capital side. It's not the fans, it's not the teams, it's not the players. It is a one-sided transfer of wealth from those who love the game to those that have an insatiable lust for greed. And
if you
pretty disgusting.
If you want to make money off of football, get into the club game and go make your money that way. And you can do as much, like you can literally, we've seen Russian oil oligarchs owning teams. We currently have, Saudi ownership, Qatari ownership, ownership from the UAE, and you've got ownership from all of these Gulf petro giants and everything. Make your money at the club soccer level. Nobody's telling you not to, but you gotta leave the national game alone.
Or be an ethical capitalist like our friends of the pod, Brian Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, with Wrexham. Invest, make it a TV show, bring life back to a passed by blue collar town. And you know what? You'll make plenty of money along the way. They've quintupled their investment. But we have a lot of fun doing it. The fans love it. It's good for the game. It's a great story. You can have a more ethical version of capitalism that works in the sport. And this FIFA Forward Enterprises, this FIFA Forward Enterprises is the exact fucking opposite. It's disgusting.
Yes. But it's also exactly what I expect from capitalism in today's world is it's not about trying to grow, it's about trying to steal.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by it. The plan is out there. I will be shocked if the plan reaches some degree of fruition.
Yeah. Once again, though, I mean, we should give props where it's due when we're talking about slightly more ethical capitalism. Charlotte FC deciding to get rid of PSLs, lower some ticket prices, and doing things to make the game more accessible to the fans. I understand the motivation. I understand the capital reasoning behind it. It's still good, just on its face for us as fans. So those clubs making decisions like that should be lauded, should be celebrated, uh, because we don't see much of it. Most
Yeah.
clubs are increasing the prices. All right, man. I could just keep monitoring this situation and keep giving updates, but uh,
Oh,
do
I
you have
get it.
any other
Yeah.
items on the rundown? Do you have anything else that we want to bring up here?
No, I mean, the Crown Legacy are in action again this weekend. It's Huntsville, that the Crown Legacy are going up against.
Rocket City,
Um,
baby. Second favorite
yeah,
MLS pro team. Let's go.
yep. So I think we're on the road for that one in Alabama and everything.
Is
Um,
this officially a rivalry yet? The Huntsville and Crown Legacy? Because I feel like almost
I
every game they've played against each other have been bangers.
I feel like maybe I will say I think that much like the top level clubs, I think there's also a rivalry brewing between Crown Legacy and New York Red Bull too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, New York Red Bull to play a similar style to their parent club, and because of that, hey, these kids can go fuck themselves. I hate that style of football. So,
Oh,
um,
tell us
but
how you
yeah, it
really feel.
definitely feels like there's a rivalry brewing there. So, it'll be good to see our Legacy Galacticos potentially, if you get your way, Luke, down one Nathan Richmond.
I mean,
Um,
I
you
hate
know,
it for Legacy, but let's be real, man. We need reinforcements on the first team. We don't have Maxi touching down until Sunday, and they're saying he may get some time in League's Cup, but he's not going to be good to play for Chicago. So we need somebody. We need a body on the
yep.
roster up there.
I'm sure it will be somebody from Legacy. Maybe it'd be Bai Koulibaly. Wouldn't mind seeing him up with the first team.
Let me ask you, if he has a red card suspension in next pro, does that carry over if he gets called up to the first team?
Oh, that's a good point. It might. I don't know, because he is for the season a legacy player, and that came in a different competition.
Because it's an intra squad transfer, but I just don't know if it carries over between leagues or not. I
Yeah, I
couldn't
don't know
imagine.
either.
I think we could get some flexibility from the soccer don on that. Like, let's give him a look on the first team, get his debut. Like, don't take that away from us because of you know, double yellow in a minor league match. That'd be silly.
Maybe. I mean, I'd like to see him get first team minutes. I think that
Yeah,
Koulibaly's. I think it's a coin flip between Koulibaly and Richmond for who's the next guy to make the jump.
yeah, and I mean, related Crown Legacy news. Sadly, I can't believe we didn't talk about this sooner. Berchamus, Nympha,
Yeah. So
playing for
for
the U.S.
those,
youth national team.
for those who may not have seen it at the CONCACAF Cup, the U20s, uh, Nimfasha Bershama suffered apparently a bad enough leg injury that he's being flown home early for additional medical checks and everything. Um, I didn't get to see any of this one. I know that Cole did. Um, it sounds like it was a very CONCACAF style match. And by that, I mean El Salvador, our opponents, were spending a lot of time hacking at ankles and, going in dangerously. And unfortunately, Beshmas is the one that really fell victim to it. So I hope
Yeah,
for the kid's sake that it's not a bad one and that he's back before long, but it didn't look good. He's stretchered off of this match.
yeah.
Um, so we'll have to
From
wait and
con
see when
I
we hear
mean,
some more.
yeah, we unsubstantiated, but just from being stretched off like that, what I've heard of the medical process, it sounds like it may be at least a fracture. So we could be looking at a significant recovery time. And it just couldn't come at a worse point in the season when he's been linked to Bayern Munich and an
Yeah.
outgoing transfer, active negotiations. An injury like this is going to put that all on hold very quickly.
Yeah, and we have seen young players derailed by these types of injuries, and I'm crossing my fingers and toes and
I
everything
mean,
that he makes it back
see,
healthy.
yeah, see one Brandon Cambridge, for example.
Yep.
It took over a year for him to come back from that leg injury and just wasn't up to speed afterwards. Um, so, I mean, truly tragic situation here with Nympha. And I mean, Patrick Ajman, you mentioned him earlier, could definitely benefit from Pochettino staying and potentially be the 2 or 3 striker for the U.S. national team. But he has that leg injury earlier this season, which derails at a crucial point in his development.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, just truly tragic here for Nympho. We're keeping him in our thoughts and prayers. We wish nothing but the best for Charlotte FC players, and Nympha among the brightest gems within our whole program. So we'll
Absolutely.
keep you posted on that as more news comes out. Yeah, Crown Legacy's in action. Charlotte Independence is also in action this weekend. It is the USL One Game of the Week. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, so Charlotte Independence is 2 on the table in USL League One, and one Knoxville is in third place, tied on points, tied on wins, tied on goal differential. So this is game of the week. The team that wins this match has the potential to leapfrog into first place in the league. Uh, American Legion Memorial Stadium, be there or be square. You can catch the Charlotte Independence match and then go right into a Charlotte FC watch party. Catch the rest of the game after the first hydration break, and just make a whole night of it.
Oh,
So,
the hydration breaks in Chicago are awful because they make you drink Malort.
oh, oh, oh no, oh no, yeah. I don't think Archie Goodwin. I mean, I
He's an
dare I
Aussie.
say, actually,
He's
as
an
an
Aussie.
Aussie,
He's done worse.
if we have to designate a Malort shot taker, he might be the pick. Honestly, um, that's brutal. Yeah, so we got a bunch of good soccer action coming up here. Stay tuned, folks. If you're good, Justin, I'm ready to move on and talk
Yeah,
about
buddy.
some exciting news here. We have Spider-Man, brand new day in theaters. The early reviews are coming out saying it is incredible. I'm planning on going, either tomorrow or Saturday, whenever my schedule allows. Very hyped about this one. I'm hearing great things. How about you?
Yeah, I'm incredibly excited for it. I'm also hearing some very positive early reviews. I won't be seeing it until Monday because this is what my daughter has asked to do for her birthday, which we are celebrating on Monday. So we are, as a family, going to go see Spider-Man Monday afternoon, and then celebrate her 24th. Oh God, I'm old. But so looking forward to getting to that. It's a great week to catch up on stuff that I missed streaming. I haven't had a chance to yet. As I mentioned, I've been slammed with work, but this end of this week and this weekend will be full with Mortal Kombat 2, Supergirl, and Masters of the Universe.
Yes. Well, I've seen 2 of them. I can tell you Masters of the Universe is better than I expected. Um, I There's a lot of hype on the internet about saying that people slept on a masterpiece. I don't know if I'd go that far. My kids enjoyed it. Fun for the whole family. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but at times I kind of wished it would. It's enjoyable. So I would recommend that. Supergirl is also a movie that exists. Um, Mortal Kombat 2, I started it the other night. I gotta wrap that up. It, you know, Carl Urban. Uh, enough said.
Absolutely. Um, I've mentioned before that I have been watching um, both Star Trek Strange New Worlds and X-Men 97. Um, Unfortunately, both may have jumped right off the cliff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds, we just watched this week's episode before recording tonight. They decided to go for a horror episode. And one of the great things about Star Trek is it is an episode that is, or it's a show in general that is pretty, scientifically grounded, everything like that. They do a horror episode with a haunted ship and they get to the end and they just kind of go, yeah, sometimes crazy stuff just happens. Wild that happened. Oh, well. And that was it.
Oh,
Which is awful. X-Men 97 has been disappointing primarily because they have taken some really good storylines and characters and gone, what would be cool is if they only got half of an episode in a 10 episode season. You'd like that, right? You'd like it if we did the sentient danger room, but it's only there for 15 minutes and then it's immediately destroyed. You'd like to see some of the acolytes from some of the better 90s X-Men comic runs, the acolytes of Magneto.
exactly what you're talking about.
You'd like to see
Yeah.
them for one episode and then an Omega level mutant just get nuked by a pistol. That makes sense,
I
right?
mean, yeah, I need to catch up on the show. Apparently,
It
but
it started
um,
out really effectively and it just has gone not good places since then. And it's been very disappointing to see.
okay. Well, I'm considering myself forewarned and forearmed. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Some other Marvel news. Unfortunately, Wonder Man. Did you see that on Disney Plus?
I did. I loved Wonder Man and I saw the news. They'd said it was getting a second season and now apparently
Right.
it's not.
Yeah, it's canceled.
I'm very upset
Canceling
to hear it. It's
canceling
such an
Blade.
interesting premise.
Yeah, canceling Blade, canceling Wonder Man. Armor Wars looks like it's on permanent hiatus. The internet scuttlebutt here is that they're just canning all of the African American characters in the MCU at the moment. So just
Well,
really weird.
they did announce a new Black Panther at San Diego Comic-Con. What's the actor's name? David Jansen
Yeah,
is taking
he's
over.
good.
For a while, it was Damon Idris that was going to be the new T'Challa, but now they've gone a different way. I've heard really good things about him. So, I'm looking forward to it and everything. I love Black Panther. One of the regrets of my lifetime watching movies and everything is the unfortunate loss of Chadwick Boseman as early as we did, not just for Black Panther, but because in general he was a great actor.
Yeah,
So,
he
but I hope that
I
they
mean,
can get.
yeah, shout out to Chadwick. He played I'm like a big Syracuse football fan. He played Ernie Davis in a
Yeah,
movie called The Express. Really good sports movie, highly recommend. I don't even think it's on streaming. I don't know where to find it. But yeah, he was in that movie, very good. And then like Ernie Davis, taken taken from us way too soon. Just really
yeah,
heartbreaking. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, new Black Panther, more Doomsday information is coming out. The hype is going to be nonstop between uh, San Diego Comic Con and December on Doomsday, the biggest day in the history of cinema. But the hype is just going to be nonstop. I'm here for it.
So, I mean, I think they're going to be enormous movies. Absolutely. I don't know if anything is going to recapture the Infinity War Endgame feel That just was probably the epitome of superhero movies, was that stretch. And I think everything since then has just been trying to chase that high.
Yeah, they're definitely going for a lot of cameos in this one, trying to bring back all those old feelings. Um,
Yep.
yep. So Spider-Man, we will have an update for you next week, more likely than not. And we got some soccer this weekend. I think that does it for me, man. I've been pretty tied up with the All-Star festivities the last few days. I haven't had a chance to really dig into anything else. But yeah, this is a really, really exciting time going into the prestigious Leagues Cup. Uh, celebrated the vaunted Leagues Cup. We are just happy to be here to witness such a monumental and definitely not manufactured event. But we
Definitely
will
not manufactured.
definitely not manufactured. We'll have more for you guys coming soon. And Cole did send me a video. I want to give a shout out. A Greenville Triumph player hit a stick bicycle kick. And oh my word, that's goal of the week. Maybe up there for goal of the year in USL 1. So shout out to the Triumph. Putting on a show. Riding the
Yeah.
bicycle. All right. Well, I'm Level Up Luke. That's Justin Kurtz. You can find us on socials at QCS Pod. Give us a like and a subscribe. Hit that follow button. 5-star review. You know the drill. Send us some questions, comments. I did have a few that we didn't get to in the episode here today. My bad. Let me see if I can find
Hey.
one real quick here.
Leagues Cup's a great time for a mailbag episode.
You know what? That is fair. I think Jeremy Mickle, I will get to you on the next mailbag episode here, talking about Charlotte FC and soccer specific stadiums. I think that's a great conversation for a mailbag episode. But guys, thank you for listening. If you've stuck with us this far, just drop us a line on socials. Send us your questions, your hot topics, your takes, your conversations you want us to engage in. We're happy to cover it at QCS Pod on socials. And as always, Justin, it is
For the crown.
for the crown.